Hello, greetings and welcome. Hey there. Have you ever wondered how you could tap into the wisdom of your own body to be able to overcome those things, those challenges that might be ailing you? Are you sick and tired of, being sick and tired? Well, let me ask you this. Are you ready for a breakthrough physically, emotionally, spiritually, and physically in every way? Then you are in luck, my friend, because I have some exciting news and a special guest today who's going to talk to us about the body's own inner wisdom to heal. Hi there. I'm Suzie Bowers with Hypno Professional, and I am your hostess today with Everything Hypnosis Expert Interview Series 2022, and we are here to ignite your hypnotic awesomeness. You got this. You got this. You got this. Let's do it. All righty. Well, having fun and always, as usual, checking the technology because I always seem to mess it up somehow. It's all right, though, because we're here having a good time. So today, I'm really excited to invite and welcome a new and beautiful friend of mine and colleague, very special person who is streaming live to us today from North Lake Tahoe, California, one of my favorite places on the planet, Frida Gipson Burtt. So let's talk a little bit about her because she is an extraordinary healer. She brings so many things into her hypnotherapy business and her practice and how she helps people. So just let's bring her on. Let's just do it. Hi, Frida. Welcome. There you are.
Hi, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I am so excited to have you here. Not only we are just like colleagues doing similar work and loving what we do, but we're also presenters at Hypno Thoughts Live X, which is the 10-year anniversary. And I'm really excited because I not only get to see you here, but I get to meet you in person in Las Vegas.
That's so incredible. What an amazing event.
It really is.
I went for my first time last year and just absolutely fell in love. So
yeah, it was fun. I didn't make it last year. I had some other obligation things that came up family-wise that were really important. So anyway, but I'm going to be there this year and I'm really, really excited about it. Let me talk a little bit about you so that, well, first of all, a little housekeeping. So I want to welcome our guests and our viewers. Thank you for joining us. And please let us know if you're watching live or you're checking out the replay. Just drop us a little note below and let us know where you're watching from, because we'd love to see people. We get people all over the country, all over the world to come and watch us and enjoy these beautiful nuggets for self-improvement and living your best life. So a little bit about Frida. You are a native of Kenya, Africa. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I can't wait to hear more about that. And you're a clear channel and you use your intention and your passion to create a healing space for people to allow the mind and body to return to the natural state of harmony and peace and balance. And it's through this integrated, your personal experiences and your different trainings and your connection with the spirit, and hypnotherapy, breathwork, art, writing, movement, and yoga. You teach others to tap into their intuitive nature and strength to bring about radical transformation, which, honestly, with hypnotherapy, that is so, that happens all the time. And people don't really believe it, but it's true. Radical transformation can definitely happen. And transformation of thought and spontaneous healing of heart. That is beautiful. So I love that. So tell us more about that. Tell us what you do. I know you got show me before, like you have crystal bowls. I love those.
Yeah, I'll share those probably in a little while. But really, what is at the new heart transformation of what I do is just the fact that I was a seeker. I would always look outside of myself. I was the one who's always taking the classes. I was the one who was always just researching stuff and wanting somebody to tell me who I was and what I was about. So I was always getting the psychic readings, knowing that I could do them for myself, to myself, but just, wanting somebody else's input. I wanted somebody to do the work for me. Well, that came to a pause when I was kind of working with a friend who told me the STFU, and I don't really need to translate that. To say that
friends like that.
Right? To say that it meant to be quiet and listen to myself. And I really didn't know how to do that. I had spent so much time spinning in circles with thoughts and other people's influences, and just really coming to that still point helped me to find what I'm here for. And that's definitely hypnotherapy. What an amazing way to help people to create the life that they want, to really take a look at themselves without having to look deeply. It's just bringing it up in a way that's loving and peaceful and will transform their heart. So I took the path of becoming a yoga instructor first. And that was in about 1999 or 2000. Oh, excuse me, a massage therapist in 1997, then a yoga instructor. And then that just built from there to Reiki master. And now I'm doing breath work. And before the breath work, I was doing hypnotherapy. So I found my way by becoming quiet. And how I became quiet is through my art. So I share this method with other people.
That is beautiful. And I'm taking notes just so you are wondering what I'm doing over here, because that is so important what you just said, learning to become quiet, which is a really key part of not only doing hypnotherapy or yoga or any of those healing modalities, but for each person to be able to find their true powerful nature is in that quiet space. And that's so beautifully said. So you started with massage therapy, so you really understand how the body works. And I know that when we talked before, you talked about how people can tap into their own devices and to create healing. So what do you mean by that? What does that mean?
Well, I didn't really know what the heck it meant until I started I went to Hypnosis Motivation Institute, HMI, in Southern California, but I got to do it online, which was amazing because if it was in person, I wouldn't have been able to do this. It's a year-long program. Anyways, in that program, we study all different types of ways to approach hypnotherapy, and one of them was the ideomotor response. And I didn't know that that's what I was doing. So the ideomotor response, I guess it can date back to the 1890s, and I didn't know that, but the guy, I guess, who's pegged as the one that found it is William James. And I think he was doing, I'm not sure what kind of research he was doing, but he was doing this ideomotor response, which breaks down to small unconscious movements that a person is not necessarily aware that they're making. And they stem from asking a question of the subconscious mind. And so this asking a question was the other part of the silence. So I recognize that when you're in the silence, you can ask a question and the answer comes for sure. Every single time that I've done it. Hypnotherapists tend to use a part of the body, which is the finger, the index finger. I don't use the index finger. I use art. I use eyes closed. I use opening in a different way. So we do a little meditation. We open into the question. We open into just our energetic field. And then I do use a hypnotic technique, and it's the one where your arm gets stiff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't make your arm stiff. I don't want to give it all the way, but we use that technique. We use that technique to receive the art answer. And if I may, now I can show the crystal balls and stuff. But in my studio,
Oh, it's beautiful, Frida. Look at that. Oh my gosh, your artwork's amazing.
So that's one of the answers that I got from that. Here you lay down and you get a nice crystal bowl bath. This is yet another response, which seems crazy, but it actually answered a question.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And then the final one that I'm going to show is this one here. And then, of course, I can't leave without showing that wonderful lake view.
Oh, the lake. The lake, like we were talking about before, when I'm up there, I can't get out of the water. It's like, I've never, but the truth is, since I was a kid, no one could ever get me out of the water. So, but Lake Tahoe, there is something very special about that water there. It's so healing.
It's very magical.
You're so lucky to live there and have your healing practice there. That's just so cool. I can see you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you up here. And I feel incredibly blessed. And the way that I got this studio is by asking a question too, and if you ask, you'll receive. That's written somewhere, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I think there's even a book with that name.
Right? You might not believe it, but you will receive it. So it's very interesting, that
Which
one.
is part of the power of the subconscious mind. And when people talk about the law of attraction and all that, it really comes back to your subconscious mind. So if I may, I would have piped in there because you were talking about the stiff arm thing. So I have a lot of fun with that. So I use muscle testing in some cases with different clients. And the most fun, though, is with kids. I get teenagers in here, and they know everything. And there's no way this lady's going to hypnotize me. I'm already all that in a bag of chips. So I go, hey, you want to try this fun little game with me? And they're like, well, okay. And I'll pull the muscle testing on them. And their arm goes down. And it's so funny. They're like, no way, man. No way. Let's do it again. It's so powerful because that wisdom in our body is there. You can't lie to the subconscious mind. You just can't lie to it. It knows the truth no matter what you do or say.
Right? It's so amazing. And that brings me to another funny part of just becoming the hypnotherapist that I am, is this book called Are You My Mother? And it's my favorite thing to share. Have you read that book?
I haven't heard of that, but I'm going to write it.
It's a children's book.
Oh, and I have read it. I take that back. I have that book.
Most people have somehow, whether they read the whole thing or not. But it's this little bird, a little bird in a nest, just freshly born, and mama goes to go get food, and baby bird leaves the nest looking for mom. And along that journey, he's like, are you my mother? Are you my mother? Are you my mother? And he goes by several different things, like a turtle or a snake or whatever. The whole story goes on, just to find that he ends up in a crane in the arm or hand or whatever you call it, the lifter of the crane, and the crane lifts him back up to the nest. So all that stuff, all that questioning, everything to return you to the center where you started. So you don't have to leave the nest that's my whole thing. And that's kind of, part of my presentation is you don't have to leave the nest to find out the answer to your question.
The answers are within. I know. I try to tell that to my kids too, because they go through their little phases of, oh, I'm just going to move away from here. And I'm like, but wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
It's still there. All the stuff is still there. So where you got to go is here.
The only way out is in. I like that one too.
So profound. Yeah, I'm going to write that one down too.
I don't know who said that, so I'm not taking credit for it, but it's amazing.
So what would it be like if someone was going to come work with you? What could they expect?
Well, as you know, we do tend to ask a lot of questions of our clients, just to find out their background and find out what they're about. And pretty much I just listen to them, and it ends up providing where we need to go. However, I use some other deeper listening skills, and sometimes do receive intuitive messages for a more personal approach, then we move from there. So I kind of assess by body language and by what they're saying and what I'm feeling. So if I feel something very strongly, I will ask them questions. Otherwise, it's just pretty much hearing their story and where they're coming from and where they want to go. So we move from there with many different modalities. Again, they might just want a meditation with the singing bowls that is a hypnosis, or they might want a different kind of journey. Like a lot of the times I end up working with people's inner child, and I do not specify what age. I allow them to choose, and it's amazing what comes up from them just listening to themselves and just spontaneously getting an age, and there they are, and they're like, oh my God, I remembered blah, 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 blah. And so we'll do that. And sometimes they need to do some movement therapy, because it's something stuck and we just need to get it out. We can get it out through movement. We can get it out through breath. So, and sometimes people sing. Sometimes we do toning together. So it's really an individual experience catered directly to my client.
Right. So it's all customized, and it is amazing. It is really amazing how those parts of us will come forward. Like you were talking about a minute ago, how those parts of us that are kind of rearing up, if you will, or need attention, they will appear when the timing is right and you start asking the right questions. And it's so powerful to work with those parts of ourselves, those younger parts, or and they are so excited to speak with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably sounds weird to people listening right now, but it's so powerful. And in some areas we call that subpersonality work, inner child work, whatever, but it is really powerful to talk to those parts of ourselves that need our love. They're just needing love and attention because it got stuck somewhere back there.
I was just going to say that everyone needs love, and in this whole self-love movement, I think a lot of that is forgotten, that the inner child is there to teach and to love you and have you love them back for the fact that you lost your innocence, and for the fact that they are still innocent. A lot of the times we come in here and we have this amazing program, but somehow with all the influences, it gets washed away. Yeah. And then you're left to figure out, wait, what happened to, how come how did I get what, are you my mother? Like, help. And I don't want to do this work because it's hard. No, it's not hard. You can love yourself into your own transformation, and that's why it's so important to work with the heart. And that I got my business name from intuitively asking a question. It's like, okay, I'm ready for a name, Spirit. God, give me a name. And this is straight out of the Bible, which I haven't read through and through, but I got new heart transformation from, I believe it's Ezekiel 36:26. And it speaks of a new heart. You will be given a new heart, and that's so perfect for what I feel in the work that I do. Is like, I want to give you a new heart. Let's transform you. Let's bring up this new earth in you. Let's dig in your roots and give you your fruits. So
So I popped that up on the screen too. So if you want to find out more about Frida, you can go to her website, New Heart Transformation Hypnotherapy and Healing.com. And there's her phone number. So you can also give her a call. It would be a really nice trip to go up to Lake Tahoe and have a healing session with Frida. I
right?
think we should all sign up and take a bus.
You can also do it online though, just in case.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. I'm just going to bring that up too, because it's just as effective. I've been doing online sessions for years. I used to do them over the phone before we had the internet.
Wow.
And they're very effective. So that is definitely really great. Very cool. So so you told us a little bit how you got started. What would be some key things that you would share with somebody that was ready to have a breakthrough or has been struggling with something? What would be some key steps you could outline for us to help guide them in overcoming those things?
Well, my primary and most effective, most important, and most beloved method is breath, because it is your life force and we take it for granted. And it is our greatest teacher and friend. So there are different ways of breathing and ways of approaching, healing through breath work. So you access your parasympathetic nervous system. You have immediate calm. One of the most simple ones is inhale for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, the 5 count. Or you can just inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. Anytime that you're slowing your rate of breathing, you are bringing yourself to balance. You are bringing yourself to your natural, and I repeat, natural state of peace and calm and harmony and balance. Mm-hmm. We forget that because we get into this fight, flight, jump, free, I gotta run. No. Take a deep breath and change your perspective or shift your perspective, calm yourself, and then you can work from there. Like I said, I was spinning myself in circles. And you don't have to do that, really. You've got an amazing tool.
Absolutely. I love everything you just said. So doing the deep breath, and you're so right. It's kind of a metaphor I use as well with people. I start doing the deep breathing, guiding them to do that. And then I'll say, you could go a few weeks without any food, which would be no fun whatsoever. You could go a few days without any water, but you can only go a moment, 2 moments, maybe 3 moments without your breath. So what you're observing is your life force energy, and it's beautiful, it's powerful, and it is the step for quieting the mind. It's the very first step.
And then the next step that I am completely passionate about is to move. Let's do that. Just move with your breath, and just let your body now stop and feel how you feel. Did you move something? I know you did. You can't tell me you didn't.
Yep, moves the energy.
Yeah.
Dancing around. I love it. That's cool. My office isn't quite big enough for all that.
It is, because you don't really need much room. See, I'm in a rocking chair. That's the other thing, is I have this rocking chair in my office. I can't really figure out how to do it. Anyway, I used to rock my son on this chair. Is very, very much my heart. And my clients come in, and what do you think they are drawn to? My rocking chair. Like, everybody loves a rocking chair. So, the other thing is to find the things in life that you love. I'm not talking addiction, but find something that you love, and it could be something really simple like the rocking chair.
I love it. I'm writing all this stuff down.
Oh, that's
such great information.
Oh, I'm
So this
happy.
is the most important thing I've gotten so far. Everybody loves a rocking chair. I'm kidding. You've had so many great nuggets, but I just thought that was funny.
It's true.
Always being a goofball.
Me too.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That breath work is so important. So very, very, very important. So what would be the third key or tip you would give to someone wanting to make a change? So we've got breath, movement, and find things in life that you love.
Okay, well, then that would be the fourth. The fourth thing would be to trust yourself. And that's one of my greatest lessons, is to trust myself.
Yes, beautiful.
And the little bird, trusted. When you left, you kind of trusted you were going somewhere. You're gonna go find mom, right? Just trust.
Absolutely. I love it. So those are really good. Good advice and good steps. So let's do this. I thought it'd be kind of fun because when we were talking before we went live, you pulled a card. So, and I love cards. Not everyone knows this about me, but I'm kind of a card junkie. I love cards because for me, and you, I'd love to hear what you have you share how it works for you. But for me, the cards allow me to tap into deeper levels of my psyche and my subconscious, because the subconscious loves to speak through art, like you said, pictures, metaphors. And there is a science to this. So if you've ever taken, for example, which was horrible class, not my thing at all, but like probability and statistics, I did have to get a college degree at one point. Horrible experience. But anyway, it's not probable that you would, like, for example, pull the same card out of a deck of 52 cards, because it just wouldn't be probable, scientifically speaking. But it happens when you're using it for intuition and guidance and getting messages. It's actually quite amazing. It's astronomical. So I love it. I love it so much. So would you pull a card, because you have a really pretty deck there? So be kind of our card for our presentation today.
Sure. And so I learned something really cool in all the learning that I love to do yesterday. The left side is where the intuition comes in. So when you're shuffling your deck, and I never cared about how I was shuffling my deck, I was just shuffling. When you're shuffling your deck, you're pulling from the left to the right. So you're pulling in. For those of you that, do play with tarot or cards or whatever, you're pulling in, and it's so important. So I'm asking the question as I shuffle my deck. Okay. So a collective, I'm asking for a collective card. So, and yes, the cards just help you access. It's a tool, right? And you are using your hands. Again, ideomotor response. You're using your hands.
Oh, I never thought of that. Oh, wow.
I've been all over the place with this intuitive stuff, So that's the only reason I know. All right. Collective card, please. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I already told you. What'd you say about the deck? I pulled a card before.
Yes, you did.
Particular session, and I swear you saw me shuffling them, but the same card came out. So
and there's that even possible.
Not really funny, because as you said, and I said, trust. So the card I pulled before this interview was reaction. The card I pulled right now after shuffling the deck was reaction.
It's not probable that you would pick that card again.
Well, I probably won't, unless it wants to say, I told you the message was reaction. Okay.
Okay.
That's the probability of that. Pulling the card 6 times because I told you so. That's the only reason, right? Okay, so the meaning: denial, numbness, or misplacement have compounded unresolved emotions. An emotional reaction may have knocked things off balance. Beneath the surface, things have been off balance for some time. Uncomfortable emotions are powerful signals. Respond with compassion, careful consideration, and awareness. Limiting emotions restricts access to truth. The person who can only feel positive emotions does not recognize a villain. The person who only feels anger cannot accept love. Observe your emotions and consider what they are signaling. This is the spiritual meaning. To a large extent, how you react and respond to life depends on how you perceive it to be. Step away for a while. Clarity requires balance and detachment. Let love be the catalyst for an enlightened outcome. Accepting your emotional self leads to being calm, composed, and blessed in every situation. The insight. Water reacts to cold and heat by changing form. A seed reacts to the presence of water, oxygen, and the right temperament by germinating. Plants react to light, vinegar reacts to baking soda, and iron reacts to oxygen. Some reactions are instant, some are slow, but they are natural and predictable. Human reactions much the same. Inhaling pepper will make you sneeze. Peeling onions will make you cry. A baby responds to hunger by crying. Being threatened will trigger a fight, flight, or freeze response. Sadness, anger, and fear are innate responses to emotional, mental, or physical hurt. I'm going to read that again. Sadness, anger, and fear are innate responses to emotional, mental, or physical hurt. As children, we express those feelings as signals for help, love, comfort, or nurture. The capacity to interpret our emotional reactions with awareness is distinctly a human trait. Not responding to your world is not possible. Expecting to manage, control, or deny innate reactions out of existence is like continuously turning up the heat and being surprised when the water boils. I think that
Wow.
is an amazing message for what's happening, like COVID, post-COVID, COVID. I mean, because all these things are, excuse me, I said the word. Whoops. I don't know how they're being.
With the boiling water.
Yeah. Shoot. Anyways, and just our reactions as humans, you are in control of your reactions through your breath. Mm-hmm. You can step back, like it said.
That was such a profound message.
Wasn't it?
A beautiful message. I definitely heard some stuff in there for myself, and I'm sure that some of our listeners and some of our guests today and watching the replay also, because there is no time and space even in replay land.
Right.
If you were supposed to hear that message, then it was probably for you as well. So pull out whatever nuggets. And if you want to, drop us a note down there. Just put nugget and write down what you got out of that. That was beautiful, Frida. Absolutely loved it. Thank you for doing that. So tell me a little bit, because we're, like we talked about before, we're going to be meeting in Las Vegas at the end of July at Hypno Thoughts Live X.
I know.
10-year anniversary. That's what X means. Anyway, what are you going to be teaching there? I know you have a class and you're presenting on Sunday. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I'm presenting Sunday before lunch. So what's that? The 11 o'clock slot?
I think so. Yeah. And what are you going to be teaching? What goodness? So I need to come to your class.
Yeah. For subconscious stimulation of subliminal messages, right? So it's what we talked about, the ideomotor response. And it's what we talked about, like, people are like, oh, I'm not an artist. No. Well, you don't have to be an artist because you have nothing to do with what's coming out of your hand. Your subconscious does. So I get you into a peaceful state where you are open to receiving the messages of your subconscious. Now, I'm not sure exactly which method I'm going to present, but there are so many. I don't know how many of you free write. I don't know how many of you do sentence stems or word, like you take a word and then with each letter, you get something, subconscious
Like
message.
a word association.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what method I'm going to present, but I'm going to present a little bit of history, a little bit more than I did today, because it's actually quite fascinating how we came about understanding, pendulum use and all these idiomotor response techniques. And then, a little bit of my story, a little bit more of my story, and then we will actually do something. So I don't want to give away the do something part, but we're going to do something, and you're going to receive an answer from your subliminal. You're going to receive a subliminal message from your subconscious mind.
I love it. Two things you just touched on is really love. So I use a pendulum in my work to make sure I'm on track when talking to the subconscious mind. And it's fun. I really love it. And so dowsing is what that's called, if you didn't know. And people do it to find water and all kinds of things because it's just tapping into that idiomotor response. But the other thing you brought up, Frida, is the automatic writing thing. So many times I've been told I should be doing automatic writing. Then I sit there and I'm like, nothing's coming. But oftentimes I get intuitions and I get conversations and things to write, like when I'm kind of between awake and asleep, just hanging out, all of a sudden all this information will come in. I think I should get up and write that. Mm-hmm. So how does that work? Because I don't know that I completely understand the whole process.
Okay, so the first bit of information that you provided is that it does come like throughout the day or whatever. So I always recommend having something, a pen and a little booklet to write that stuff down when it comes, because it's just another tool. It's like the cards. They teach you how to listen to subliminal messages. They teach you how to say, if somebody doesn't like the term subliminal messages, God, spirit, whatever, your guides, your angels, whatever you're listening to yourself. Messages come. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So messages come. So be ready, be prepared to record them. Even if I've done voice record. So you don't have to write it down. It's the same thing if you're voice recording memos of what is happening and you're outside and you're like, oh my God, this, I have to record this. This message is coming through. Well, record it. That's, great that you have a phone and a method to record it. And the other thing is
that's a good reason for that phone. Finally.
Yeah. So the 30 minutes before bed and the 30 minutes upon arising in the morning are the most crucial time to spend with yourself, to have a routine, to do the writing, to do the recording, to do whatever practices that you are doing that are having silent time with yourself, to allow yourself to receive those messages, to receive that information that's coming through for you. Because I can't even tell you how many times I've woken up in the morning and books write themselves. So I'm actually in the process of writing my second book. My first book, Messages from the Spirit Within, is available on Amazon. I forgot that. Yeah, so it is available, and I will have it available at HypnoThoughts as well. But that's what that is. It's a lot of I'm a poet, so it's all poems. And this second book that I'm writing is poetry, but it's based on my experience with becoming who I was put forth to be. So, quote unquote, my awakening, whatever you want to term that, my return to self. So, just important. To have the tools that you need available and to take the time when you are the most active in your spiritual self, in your most silent and aware states.
Beautiful. I love it. And I can't wait to see that book too. So I'm just checking some tech here really quick to see if we're missing anybody that might have a comment or a question. And hi, that's nice. Dennis Alsop has joined us. Hi, Dennis. Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining us. And he's a hypnotherapist here in my area. He's a local. And he says he'd like to mention internal family systems, which is a wonderful process he's incorporated into his own counseling practice, and he recommends everyone look into it.
Nice.
And addresses our internal parts in a gentle and powerful way. Very cool. Well, thanks, Dennis. We appreciate your comment. That is wonderful. All right. So let's just recap here. Let's just kind of wind this down a little bit. So I put your information here if someone wants to get a hold of you, and I'm sure that you're probably be getting some calls because you're just amazing. I love your energy. It's beautiful. So you can go to Frida's website, which I just set down over here because it went away. New Heart Transformation Hypnotherapy and Healing.com. And your number there, 530-448-1354. And you have a book called Messages from the Spirit Within that's available on Amazon. And if you guys are really super brave and courageous and want to hang out with a whole bunch of crazy hypnotherapists at the end of July in Las Vegas, baby, then come join us at HypnoThoughts Live X, which means the 10-year anniversary. We'd love to see you there at the Orleans in Las Vegas. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Frida, thank you so much for joining me. You're just amazing. I love your energy. Thanks for sharing that card and everything that you're doing to help raise the vibration of the planet. So I say that, I know it sounds kind of funny, but I'm sure you'd agree with me. When we do this work and we're helping others, and this is why we do it, because we're all really passionate about it, we're literally raising the vibration of the planet. When you're overcoming your subconscious programs, beliefs, obstacles, blocks, things that are holding you back in your life, you're raising your vibration. So you're becoming a healed, your best self, the best version of yourself, your spiritual self, and who you really are. And when you do that, that radiates out to your whole environment, to all the people who are around you, and it lifts everybody up. So that's why it's so important to do your inner work and work with people like Frida, and get that healing, get that inner healing going. And that's kind of my whole passion in what I do, is that for that reason as well. So it's definitely a heart calling. But if you want to learn more, there's lots of great places to get trained as well. So let us know. So thanks. So a little quick recap. So a couple of things you said I loved. Access your parasympathetic nervous system. Take 5 and 5, counting 5 deep breaths in and out. It helps to bring yourself and back to your natural state of harmony and balance. And then to move your body, move it. And that will shift your perspective as well. And everyone loves a rocking chair. So that's all you can do, get in your rocking chair. And then find things in life that you love and go for that. Spend time with that and trust yourself. And then the other thing I loved is you said the left side is where the intuition comes in, and you can tap into that using your body. You can tap into it using cards, which we had some fun with. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon.
I want to say one more thing if I can.
Sure.
And that is that at HypnoThoughts Live, there's a growing diversity for, I'm going to say, the Black community of hypnotherapists. And so there will be a really awesome presentation as a panel, because, this year they're having panels there at HypnoThoughts Live. So just another great, a great presentation to be at is that panel, because we tell our stories. We're going to tell our stories. So everybody loves a good story. And
Absolutely.
It's just really nice to see how diverse hypnotherapy is.
It really is. And it's needed for every culture, everybody. And I feel frustrated because even yesterday I got a phone call for hypnotherapy, and the man asked me if I spoke Spanish. And I was like, no, I just know how to ask where the bathroom and the tequila is, but that's about it. I go, I'm so sorry. So there's a huge need for hypnotherapists in every area of life. And so I encourage anybody watching this, get certified, go find out more. You can create an amazing business doing what you love. And that's what Hypnoprofessional is really all about. So that's great, Frida. Thank you for sharing that. And I will see you soon. Talk to you later. Namaste, darling. All right. So a quick recap. That was just so cool. Wasn't that great? Frida's amazing. And I'm super, super excited. I get to go meet her really soon at Hypno Thoughts Live at the end of July. So we did have a great, just to recap, just some of the things that Frida shared with us. It's important to breathe and to get, to get into your center, to reset. Basically, you're resetting, rewiring your circuits when you do your deep breathing. You can do a deep breath when you breathe in for 5 seconds in through your nose, and then exhale for 5 seconds out of your mouth, and do that 6, 7, 8 times. Neuroscientists are showing that that kind of breath actually causes neurological changes in your brain, allowing both left and right hemispheres of your brain to go into balance, and also to create new neural pathways. So actually, potentially, I guess it can make you smarter too. That's good for everybody, right? All right. And then also to shift your perspective by moving your body. And if you need to, get your own rocking chair and find things in life that you love. Oh my gosh, that is just that one thing is so key. Find things in life that you love and do it. If it's hiking, biking, kayaking, swimming, you like art, you like crystal balls, you like to sing, do it. There's no practice time. Just step into your greatness and do it, and trust yourself, All right. All great advice. I'm Suzie Bowers, and I'm going to share with you why I started Hypno Professional. I kind of talked about a little bit because some of you know that I own California Hypnosis Center and Academy for the last 25 years. But I started Hypno Professional to help you, the hypnotherapist, coach, or alternative practitioner, healing arts practitioner, to create a successful business. And we have business coaching. I've got systems. I'm going to teach you about systems and how to get your business where you're bringing in clients steadily. You're getting to work with the people that you really love, and you're attracting those people that you really enjoy working with and can afford to pay you what you're worth. So if you want to find out more, feel free to visit me at hypnoprofessional.com. Get your free ebook. And I'm going to share this with you. This is a little secret. The ebook right now is free on the website, but it is being published. So it's in editing mode right now. It's going to go to somebody really special who's helping me edit it. I'll tell you about that later because I don't want to out her on this. But anyway, right now you can get those good nuggets for your business for free. So go do that before it comes out on Amazon. And when that happens, it will not be on the website anymore. So, all right. Hope to talk to you soon. And if you want to find out more how we can work together, just drop me a note and I'll give you a buzz. All right. Thank you so much. Let's everyone have a beautiful, wonderful day creating the life you desire and deserve. All right. Here we go. Bye now.